All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us do a little word problem review. So the idea of this is that you would try the problems by yourself and then watch the video to see if you get it right. So of course you can just watch me do it, but that's not really going to prepare you for the quiz because you need to know how to do it on your own. So try these three. They're similar to the ones you've done in the past. You can watch the old videos or you could look at your old notes. And then watch this video to confirm that what you did was correct. That's the best way to prepare. We're going to go through our 4 steps, decide what the x and y are, write our equations, use substitution or elimination to solve, and then state our answer or solution in a sentence form. Okay, and they're going to be really familiar. They're going to be the same kind of format as the ones we've been practicing all week. In the first one, Jenna and Brenna are twins. Between the two of them, they have a collection of 42 dolls. Brenna has 6 more than twice as many dolls as Jenna. How many dolls does each twin have? I've been looking at the last part to help me figure out my variables. So since it's asking how many dolls each twin has, I'm going to let Jenna be X and the number of dolls Brenna has be Y. So X is going to be the number of dolls Jenna has, and Y is going to be the number of dolls Brenna has. All right, so let's move on to writing our equations. So what do we know? They have a collection of 42. To me, that tells me there's a total of 42. So when I go to write my first equation, the number Jenna has plus the number Brenna has will add up to 42. What else do they tell me? Brenna, who is Y, has 6 more than twice as many as Jenna. Okay, so Brenna has 6 more than twice as many as Jenna. Well, if Jenna's X, twice as many would be 2X, and 6 more than that would be plus 6. So this one's set up to do substitution really easily. This can sub in for Y because they're equal. So when I get into my third step now and I go to do my work, I'm going to recopy this top problem, but where there was a Y before, I'm going to have a 2X plus 6 substituted in and make that equal 42. So solving that, these are alike, so 3X plus 6 will be 42. Taking away 6, I get that 3X will be 36. Dividing by that 3, you should have ended up with X equals 12. The fastest way for me to find Y is to look back here and say, okay, according to that equation, Y will equal 2 times what I got for X plus 6, which will come out to be 30. So that's my solution to this system using substitution, but I have to write it as a sentence. And the question asked, how many dolls does each twin have? X was Jenna, Y was Brenna, so I would say Jenna has 12 dolls and Brenna has 30 dolls. So I'm writing that in a sentence to answer the question. All right. So we also have had some where there's more things to consider, like value. That's what's going to happen here. You find a total of 15 coins in your winter coat pocket. They are a combination of dimes and quarters. If the total coins is $3, how many of each coin did you find? So again, use this last part to help you identify. It's asking how many of each coin did you find. So X can be the number of dimes. I'm going to be more thorough. Number of dimes. And Y can represent the number of quarters. And it doesn't really matter which one as long as you state them properly in your answer later. So what do I know? I know there's a total of 15. So the number of dimes plus the number of quarters is 15. I also know that their total value is $3. So think about the value of a dime is 10 cents and the value of a quarter is 25. So 10 cents for my dimes plus 25 cents for my quarters has to add up to $3. So the fact that I have these in standard form, I'm going to go ahead and use elimination. Plus, it'll help me demonstrate that since I used substitution in the first example. I need to get rid of something. What I would likely do is go through and multiply this top row by negative 0.10. Why? Well, because I'm going to try to eliminate a positive 0.10 on the bottom equation. So when I distribute this, I will get negative 0.10x. Then here I get negative 0.10y. And then here I'm going to get negative 1.5. And I don't expect you to just do that. You can go ahead and use your calculator to do your, like in this case, negative 0.10 times 15. So if you want a little bit of help with that to come up with those numbers. Now, the idea was to get something to eliminate. These do. I have a positive 0.10x and a negative 0.10x. Here, again, use your calculator if you're not super confident. You end up with 0.15y if you put in a 0.25 and a minus 0.10. And then here, if I do 3 minus 1.5, and you can have the decimals in there if you want, 3.00, I get 1.5. Dividing by this 0.15, I end up with y equals 10. Okay, so that is my y value. Going back to my original problems, this looks like the easiest place to figure out the x because I know that x plus y, which I just found to be 10, has to add up to 15, so x would be a 5. So looking back at what I called each thing, x is my number of dimes, y is my number of quarters, so I can write my sentence to answer how many of each coin did you find. I would say I found 5 dimes and 10 quarters. Awesome. Well, you should already know what to expect from the third one because the third one's going to be like the third type that we have practiced, and that's the ones that are angles. The two angles are supplementary. Think back to what we learned that means. That means that they total 180 degrees. The larger angle is 5 times as big as the smaller angle. This is telling me to find the two angle measures. So, what are my two variables? Well, x is going to be, and I can make it the measure of the smaller angle, and then y can be the measure of the larger angle. It doesn't matter, again, which one you call what. So, I'm going to look at my information. I know they're supplementary, so the smaller angle plus the larger angle has to total 180. And then here, the larger angle, which I called y, which is equals 5 times as big as the smaller angle. So y is 5 times as big as the smaller angle. I'm good to go. This looks a lot easier to do by substitution because I can replace this 5x in here and substitute that in for the y. So my top equation will be x plus, and I'm subbing in the 5x for the y, equals 180. So putting those two together, I get 6x. Dividing by 6, x is 30 degrees. Well, how do I find that? It told me y is 5 times whatever you got for x. So that means that my y is 150 degrees. Sentence would be the smaller angle measures 30 degrees and the larger angle measures 150 degrees. So hopefully these 3 help you kind of recap again. And again, the idea was that you would try them first and then watch the video. Just watching me isn't always going to help. You want to really practice yourself. And then tomorrow you'll have access to the quiz. Follow the same steps, show your work. Keep in mind that without the work shown in the boxes like I've been demonstrating all week, you won't get full credit. You do have to show all of your steps because that's the only way that I can see what you're thinking as you go through it. So good luck on your quiz tomorrow and have a great weekend. Bye, guys.